Oh, buddy, here we go again. It's mainly just par for the course. You have lots of entertainment companies hitting layoffs, and I harped on this almost in every other fucking video, but I think it really helps to encapsulate what is happening with the entertainment industry as a whole, right? Because you have companies that, again, they claim to be progressive, they claim social justice, they claim all these things, they claim to be making money, but then they, lay off hundreds of their people, right? And people that have worked there for 20 odd years. People that beforehand actually had a hand in the creative process. Now they're just drones, right? It's the HR lady, it's the diversity hire, it's people who have absolutely nothing to do with the games, with the production of the product and the artistic value, but they make all the decisions for the company and all the marketing decisions. And we're finding out that this is just unsustainable because the market, the consumers, the people that actually put food on the table of these companies are not participating. They're not buying these products. They're moving elsewhere for their entertainment, and it leads to companies like Riot, eliminating 500 roles globally, right? So that's 500 other working people pretty much getting canned. And the argument is why. Well, we know why they want to do all the whole ESG social justice shit. Is to get ESG money, right? They want loan. They want a lot of money just for free. They want to bypass the consumer. But we're finding out that again, this just isn't sustainable. And we know this again by the actions of them firing. And Riot Games isn't the only one doing this, right? Ubisoft done this, Bungie done this, or who are the guys that made Destiny? Is that 343 Industries? Or no, I think that's Bungie. Yeah. Well, 343 Industries doing the literally the exact same thing, right? Disney doing that. I mean, again, it's just the way things are nowadays, and it sucks to have to harp over the same things over and over and over. But I think at least every couple of weeks you see things like this happening, and you just gotta point it out, right? And you gotta point out the statements that they say to justify these things, because it's real interesting how they gaslight you, the consumers. They're like, oh no, we're doing fine, we're doing well, we're doing good, while laying off 500 people. Really, is that what doing good looks like to us? The answer is no, but yeah, let's just get into this. Rioters, see, this is also another thing they do. They give you quirky fucking names. Like, they could just say gamers, right? They could at least say consumers. I know they're afraid to use. I know companies nowadays are scared to death of using the word gamer. It's like that name's like the boogeyman. Like, I know in the last E3 that was actually an E3, they were scared to fucking death of saying the word gamers. They would say consumers. So again, people who just buys the product and aren't like fans. That's what they considered you. Even though there were people like that, people who were fans, people who did like it, but they still considered you a consumer. They lowered you to the lowest possible denominator. Rioters, today I'm sharing a decision we hope we would never have to make at Riot. We're changing some of the bets we've made and shifting how we work across the company to create focus and move us towards a more sustainable future. This decision means we're eliminating about 530 roles globally, which represents around 11% of our workforce, with the biggest impact to the teams outside of core development. This will also sadly mean we'll be saying goodbye to many talented colleagues and friends across all areas of Riot. Well, again, that's very interesting. Say, the CEOs or the upper management, they don't get canned, right? I mean, beforehand, like I know during the whole COVID thing, companies were absolutely expanding and building up and doing all this, and now it's unsustainable, right? But who's getting shafted? Well, I can kind of understand why if you just expanded without zero forecast, why it would be a decent amount of the workforce you threw in. But why isn't the CEO? Why isn't the marketing team? Why aren't they ever held accountable for these things? Right? Again, they're never held accountable for actively doing everything in their power to shit on the consumer, right? Again, and in that case, the consumer is the problem. They're the sexist, they're the racist, but then you have situations like this where you'd think they take accountability, and I haven't read this whole thing. I mean, it says right here, as CEO, I'm accountable for the changes we're making and where we are headed in the future. Okay, buddy, why are you still working there? It's like, it's just interesting. It's very interesting. They hire people who are as far away from the consumer, as far away from the actual project management and the production of the product as humanly possible, right? And like that's the icky job. We're up here. We're upper management. We make all the decisions, but if the decision happens to be bad, it's the guys at the icky job that gets blasted. It's like that's a very odd thing. I realize this is awful news to hear, and especially hard for those who will be leaving us. To all the rioters who are being laid off, we are deeply sorry that it has to come to this. So they're literally just being like, well, sucks to suck, idiot, I suppose. I see you. I'm accountable for the change we're making and where we're headed in the future. So I think it's important for me to share how we got here and how the next few days will work. How we got here. Since 2019, we've made a number of big bets across the company with the goals of making it better to be a player. Yeah, definitely. We jumped head first into the creating new experiences and broadening our portfolio, and we grew quickly as we became a multi-game, multi-experience company, expanding our global footprint, changing our operating model, bringing in new talent to match our ambitions, and ultimately doubling the size of Riot in just a few years. Exactly. They've completely expanded beyond the pale of sustainability, right? And these are things you should know, right? I don't know who's the forecast and marketing manager, or if that's even a fucking title they hold, but these are things you should know beforehand if expanding will be sustainable. Like, yeah, gaming has risen, right, in the past, 4 or 5 years, but that doesn't exactly mean, the wealth is there. Like, you can't run, you know, entertainment companies just like they're any brick and mortar companies, right? It's a completely different business model. It's a completely new business model. Today we're a company without a sharp enough focus, and simply put, we have too many things underway. Some of the sufficient investments we've made aren't paying off the way we expected them to. Our cost has grown to the point where they're unsustainable, and we've left ourselves with no room for experimentation or failure, which is vital to the creative company like ours. All this puts the core of our business at risk. What does Riot actually make? Like, I know League of Legends is still raking in money. Do they make Hearthstone? Is that a thing? But what does Riot actually do? What type of games did they make in the past 5 years? Hold on. Now I'm actually legitimately interested. Uh, Riot Games? Fuck. Games? Oh yeah, they did make Valorant. League of Legends, they do Valorant. Was Valorant's the newer one, right? But I know League of Legends will always make them money. I know Valorant's is new in the whole esport idea. If literally since 2019, Valorant's the only game they actually legitimately made or is actually cultivated. Team fight tactics. Oh no, these I know that they have this phone bullshit Wild Rift for the phone. This is the fucking OG Soraka's Bay. I don't care what anyone says. Don't know what type of goofy shit this is. Don't know what type of goofy shit this is. Yeah, I know these are their big esports, League of Legends and Valorant. Arcane was a fine show. I played a little bit of Ruin King, but I don't really know the rest of these titles. And here they are. They're still hiring. Open position 0, offices 24. And this is, I'm assuming this is their official page. I mean, it looks the same way as the I'm sorry page. Alright, let's get back. Oh, fuck. Let's get back to this. Their attempt to justify this. Over the past several months, we've tried to alter our trajectory in many different ways. We asked leaders to make trade-offs in things their teams are working on. We rolled out hiring slowdowns and in some cases hiring freezes. We put an emphasis on controlling costs while strengthening our revenue growth. All of which has without a doubt been tough for our team. Yeah, again, Valorant is the only thing they've rolled out. Again, they've always made money on League. Like Valorant is League is it's literally their cash cow. And again, I don't know what tiny other things they've tried. But as I've dug in with leaders across Riot, it's become clear to all of us that these changes aren't enough. Leaders across Riot. Why not just ask the consumers, man? Or the gamers. The people who put food on your table what they want. I mean, is that really difficult? Like, honestly, is it really difficult to just be like, hey, we're kind of at a standstill. Rather it's Valorant or League. Just ask the people playing your fucking game what they want. Like, leaders across Riot. So people who are as far away from the consumer as possible, what they think. We have to do more focus on our business and center our efforts on things that drive the most player value. The things that are truly worth players' time. Unfortunately, this involves making changes in the areas where we invested the most, our head count. Yeah, again, just admit you made bad okay, I guess he does technically admit that he made a terrible fucking decisions in the past, or the company has made terrible decisions in the past. But I don't understand this whole rose-tinted, flowery bullshit. Like, oh, well, we've asked leaders across Riot. What the fuck? They just told you what you wanted to hear. They did not do anything about this. Right? I want to be super clear about something. This is absolutely the last thing we've ever wanted to do. Well, I mean, it's the only choice you have, right? You said it yourself. It's unsustainable. So, I mean, that's the one thing I genuinely believe coming from your mouth. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Yeah, it's literally the last thing you ever wanted to do. A decision like this has a massive impact on people's lives and on the culture of Riot. We're not doing this to appease shareholders or to hit some quarterly earnings number. We've made this decision because it is a necessity. What does that mean? It's a necessity. Are you trying to say it's because it's necessary? What's this weird framing? It's what we need to do in order to maintain a long-term focus for players. Yeah. How this will work. There is no perfect way to do layoffs, but our guiding principle is to do our very best to make sure we're treating rioters with respect and grace. We want those who are leaving us to feel supported in this difficult moment. This starts with limiting the time they spend in ambiguity about their roles and future with Riot, how wherever possible. Again, just oh God, they're not. Do you hire children, right? Do you hire like fucking kids? Just say, yeah, just speak your mind, man. What's with all this corpo speak? Like, again, they're not children. They know what's happening. The 530 people know what's going on. I just don't understand the whole rosy flower tinted glasses bullshit you're doing here. Well, then the next hour, I don't know when this was made. Writers around the world receive an email informing them whether or not their role is or may be impacted. This is the unusual way we do things. But many companies do this. Discord, which is probably going to be my next video, is doing this. Though we wanted to optimize for letting people know as soon as possible, and that's tough to do at our scale without using email. Yeah, buddy, we know. You don't gotta spell this out. Like, overnight, maybe they're gonna be like, oh, you've been canned. Sorry. Shortly after, every rider whose role is or may be impacted will get a calendar invite to meet with our senior leader and people's team partner and discuss next steps within 48 hours. There's a wide range of local employment processes that have been followed in situations like these. So while these meetings will be completed this week in the U.S., it may take several weeks to finish them around the world as we follow local laws and regulations. Man, it's just, and most people, it's probably just going to be like a Zoom call, right? At least for people across seas or people too far away, it'll just be a Zoom meeting being like with some goofy HR lady being like, yeah, well, you've been canned. Sorry. Riders whose roles are going away and whose aren't moving into new positions will be offered severance pay, so pretty much shut the fuck up money, cash bonuses, so a few extra fucking dollars in the bank, health benefits, another incentive to shut the fuck up, play fund, wellness fund, whatever the fuck that is, equity, sure, single vesting, buyback, opportunity, a fucking laptop, career support, so the HR connections to other jobs, rider assistance programs, another bullshit thing about mental health that doesn't actually need to be there, visa support, people across the seas, Riot email access, rather than immediately cut off access, which is common in these moments. It's all pretty much advertisement. Cool. We're not expecting this to be normal. Business as usual week for us. We're asking everyone to cancel meetings and rituals over the next few days, where possible, as we move through these changes together. Also, if you're at one of our U.S. offices now, we ask that you head home for the rest of the day and work remotely through Wednesday. If you need to come into the office on those days, please respect those who may be having difficult conversations and give them space to process. Yeah. I don't really care about R&D bullshit. Don't really care about new projects that somehow hasn't been canned, even though they're not profitable. Yeah. Read our message to players. Wait, is this another thing? Oh, it's another thing. Ooh, buddy, this is going to be a longer one. Blair, a minute ago we shared with writers we were refocusing on few high-impact projects to move us towards a more sustainable future. Now we want to tell you what these changes may mean for our games. Everything around them, esports, arcane, music, and what to expect going forward. For most of our history, we've managed to avoid days like this, but this decision is critical for the future of Riot. This isn't to appease shareholders or blah 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 or anything. It's necessary. They just copy and paste some of these messages. Over the past few years, as Riot more than doubled in headcount, we spread our efforts across more and more projects without sharp enough razors to decide what players need most. The adjustments we're making aim to focus us on the areas that have the greatest impact on your experience while reducing investment on things that don't. This means eliminating about 530 roles globally, which represents around 11%, blah, 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 blah. Doubling down on games as a center. Our vision for future is bold in our commitment to our core live games. Obviously League of Legends. Obviously Valorant. I don't know what the fuck any of this is. Well, I know what this is. Mobile games. I think they're switching more to the mobile market. I'm gonna make this what's the word for it? I'm gonna just make this prediction. They're going to mobile. They're going to sell into China. They will hold their few cash cows close to their heart. But I believe this is what their main focus is going to be. And I know this without even, really reading or any of this. I mean, again, this is all just copy and paste. So anyway, I mean, Dylan and Mark. Who the fuck is Mark? But anyway, this is just how the entertainment industry's going. Just unsustainable growth in the past 4 years. Now it's biting them in the ass, and they're letting people go. I mean, what more can I say to this that I haven't already said or hasn't already been explained better by other people? I guess quit treating the people you're letting off like they're children. I mean, they're adults, right? They're like, oh, this is going to be tough. Oh, by the way, we're just going to send an email saying yay or nay if you're getting fucked. Yeah, very, very interesting. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this. See ya.